Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. I'm Luke Gregory and here's what's coming up today. Luton were 5 unbeaten but headed over to Preston and left with 0 points as a pretty comfortable win, I'd say, for them. 2-0 at Deepdale. Today we discussed that game in a little bit more detail. Why did it go so wrong after a positive 5 games beforehand? And also today we're having a chat about Cameron Jerome. Elijah Adebayo clearly picked up a knock in that last home game. So when he's not playing, do we struggle? Do we play a different way? How can we make sure that when he's not fully fit, we continue scoring the goals? And we also answer your Instagram questions. And with me tonight, as always, Dave and Bataro. Evening, guys. How are we?
Good evening. How are we all? We're good?
Yeah, we're good, mate. Do you know what? I was a little bit disappointed on Saturday. I was really confident going into the game because Preston were on a bit of a poor run of form, I think, and it just wasn't meant to be, was it?
Well, it wasn't. No, to be fair, I thought we could do a better job, but yeah, disappointing. Just a disappointing result, disappointing performance, really.
Yeah, it weren't great at all.
Well, before we get into it, let's get into some 3-word reviews. This is how you guys summed up Preston 2, Luton 0 in 3 words. Tony says didn't show up. Barney said Premiership's rubbish anyway, Premier League. Louise says lack of desire. Are you shaking your head at?
No, you just correct Premiership every time, right? So older school people would remember it when it was called the Premiership. So you can make that mistake if you want.
Yeah, it's Premier League. Scott says whole team rubbish. JMO says got everything wrong. Alex says backup needed. Daz Hatter, Sonny crazy foul.
They don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Chris says really missed Elijah, and Phil says due a loss.
Well, that's true, isn't it? Listen, we had a bit of a run. We've lost one, and you know it's not the end of the world, is it? Let's be fair.
Nowhere near.
Just disappointed with the whole result. Look at that lack of desire. Yeah, I agree with that totally. It didn't feel like we were up for it that day, on Saturday.
Especially first half as well.
The whole team rubbish.
Dreadful.
I think that's a bit harsh. I think we had some players had their moments. Backup needed. Yeah, why not? We do need a bit of extra sometimes, or plan B sometimes. Because we wasn't in the game really at all, were we?
And plan B came way too late as well.
Yeah, there is that. And yeah, Daz Hatter was a crazy foul.
Well, if you look at the team news going into this game, obviously the big one is Elijah's out, which we assume is the same reason he was subbed against Hull in that early in that second half. Obviously, we were in Newcastle for that whole game, didn't even realise he was off the pitch at the time, but it was something you were hoping it was a little thing that wouldn't keep him. You thought, they've done that because if they get him off now, they've done the right thing and he can probably play next week. But let's just hope that's not too serious and that he can be back for tomorrow night.
Wow.
Well, he didn't train at the open day, did he? When that was on, so that was the first sort of clue that he wasn't going to be. But I don't even think he was at the stadium. I can't remember. But yeah, I think it was obvious that we missed him
Massively. I mean,
yeah,
the hold-up play was non-existent, was it really? So.
Yeah.
But that's the thing Elijah brings, isn't it? He has a brilliant touch. He's got that pace for such a tall guy that he can take on players.
Just the balance as well.
Yeah.
The all-round ability and the balance is, we had none of that on Saturday. I mean, Cameron Jerome, a lot of people will be looking at him going, he's a seasoned name and whatever else, but he's not quite Elijah, is he?
And that's no disrespect to Cameron Jerome, though, is it? That's just that's just because Elijah's been so good and is getting better and better, and he's scoring goals, and his movement's brilliant, and he offers so much. He's such a threat, and it's just like when we haven't got him in the team, we do look like a different team.
Yeah, of course, but the thing is, we need to remember that we need to learn to play without certain key players as well.
Yeah,
nothing against Jerome, obviously. He's a certain type of striker, but.
Thing is, though, we've said in the past, and we've said since this season began, we've got a very exciting squad. We've got a squad that's probably one of the better squads we've had for a long time. Mm-hmm. And you'd think that we could chop and change players. You'd be looking at rotation sometimes.
Pelly and Naismith come into the team. So talking of rotation, Pelly's been in and out a bit this season. He came in for Berry and Naismith came in for Anya Dimmer, I assume. I don't know how that's worked, but either way. Naismith back from obviously picking up that suspension before the whole game. And it just never really got going, did it? I didn't actually watch the game because I was absolutely smashed at Ascot races with my girlfriend, but...
We heard.
Yeah, we heard. We saw
a state of her, mate, as well.
Yeah.
We had a few things.
Mate, we had...
let's not talk about that.
Sorry,
Let's
lots
talk
of
about
drinks
the
and
game.
some winnings, just say. Just
Talk about the
we did.
game. Let's talk about...
No, but you
winnings.
guys watched the game. I've managed to watch back a few of the highlights and stuff, and to be honest, it doesn't sound like I missed much because I was refreshing the Twitter commentary, and obviously Mike at Luton News does a fantastic job at keeping you up to date when you're not at the game. It was just reading it just sounded boring and nothing was happening.
Well,
I think we chatted a lot, didn't we? And when we were
Yeah.
watching the game, we were chatting a lot. I think it was just uneventful and inevitable the way we were playing that we would concede. That's how I felt about it. We're just not at the races.
We literally lost every single second ball.
Oh, Owen
Midfield.
Nichols back. Sorry, mate.
fuck's
Can't carry on.
Man, leave him alone, man. He's not in a good way. But no, I mean, look, every single second ball, we lost. I think every single battle, midfield, defence, striker, whatever, every position, it was gone. Nothing happened for us.
Why
think we
is
got
that,
the ball.
though? Why is that?
Well,
I don't know. I
think even
just
they
didn't feel like it was up.
Yeah, they didn't run. It was clear to see I don't know. Maybe it's you can't even say they were tired. Really, the professional footballers, everyone's the same. But
I know you just said they weren't up for it, but
That's what it felt like. Like when when you go and watch a game, when you're really up for the game, and when
yeah,
you.
but
just
there's got to be reasons behind that. It's not just like they turned up and were like, we're not up for this game today. We're just going to roll over.
Well, okay, let's rephrase that. They weren't up to the pace of the game. That's what I would say.
I think Preston put an extra 10-15%. That was about it, and we can cope with that because we weren't expecting it. It was, I don't know, it's like sort of like me going into a fight with you, Gregory, knowing that, you can't fry a punch. But, you know what I mean? But then all of a sudden you've been training and then, I'm getting punched left, right and centre and I'm out on the floor cold after 25 seconds. It's almost like that in a way.
So do you reckon we went into that game maybe underestimating Preston's ability a little? Or do you think we still went to Deepdale going, you know what, Preston's always been a tough place to go. Like I remember back in the first lot of championship days, I think we lost like 5-0 up there. I think we ended up with Nichols in goal.
Really?
I think someone went in goal. I think Beresford got sent off.
But no, what I'm thinking is I just think that they up their game. They caused us something different that we haven't come up against this season. And it was very like, what's the word? It was scrappy. I mean, they weren't amazing. They were just winning their second balls. They were aggressive. They were, we couldn't hack it. We could not deal with it whatsoever. But look, you've got to do, I mean, we've said how many times this season that we've seen games, when we've gone, do you know what? Last season we wouldn't have done that. We wouldn't have done this. We wouldn't have done that against like different styles of play. And
did you feel that felt very last season though? Do you feel like that kind of performance was one like we've seen in previous years where it is like a typical, you go to Preston, you get beat, you don't really complain about it?
Maybe, but I would say it's more like we weren't expectant of it. I think, the way we've dealt with things this season and, you used to sort of controlling teams or, making them give minimal sort of effect towards us. And they overpowered us, especially in midfield, Dave. I'm pretty sure you said it a few times in midfield. We were dreadful.
Yeah, I don't think we had much. We didn't have much in midfield at all, really. That's quite sad. I think I don't think we underestimated them or they overestimated us. I feel that we just didn't keep the pace that they were playing at.
No, they overpowered us.
And the press wasn't as good as it's been in the past weeks. Like you say, there was times when the midfield would be saying, well, where is it? Where is it? And I think we just got it wrong. We just set up wrong on the day and we didn't play well. But you can have one of those, right? We've had a fair run where we haven't lost. Not one every week, but you're due a loss every now and then. We're not on that run where you're going to win the league yet.
Exactly. Exactly. I like the way you said yet.
Well, but, I'm not saying we're going to win the league this season, but that when your team is brilliant and they're going to go out almost every week and win, you know that's going to be the season.
And also as well, was it first loss in 7 games as well?
Yeah.
Something like that. So look, first loss in 7. I mean, this was last season or the season before. You'd be looking at it going, that's mental. Like,
we had lost
we expect now to not to lose many games.
I think we were third for fewest losses before the weekend. I think it was only us, Bournemouth, and like West Brom who had won who had lost the same amount of games. Well, Bournemouth are unbeaten because they're running over this league right now. But the thing is, like I said, it's not end of the world that you lose. And look, recently it seems like we mention this every week, and I don't genuinely believe there's any Luton fan out there that looks at this season and expects us to get in the playoffs. But there's kind of like that little bit of, because we've been so well and because maybe we sat in fifth last week, that maybe we all got carried away, but maybe a few just looked at it and thought, maybe, we are pushing that bit. Because apparently there's Facebook comments this week saying, if we want playoffs, we got to start doing this. It's just man. Is anyone actually expecting that this year? Is it just a bit of fun and a bit of bants that when we are actually in fifth, we can all sit there and dream a little? Do you get me?
We're still not that far off the playoffs for those people that are moaning.
We dropped down from 5th to 11th place or whatever it was, or 10th place. And, look.
And it could be reversed tomorrow.
And that's the level this league is at this season. This league is phenomenal. Apart from, say, like the bottom 4 or 5, this league is up there. Like, it's competitive. Like, you name it, I don't know. I looked at league tables, but if you can name me a more competitive league, like straight off the top of your head, than in the world right now, then go for it.
It was just like Blackpool looked like they had a really tough start to the season. They're now in the playoffs on like 24 points.
They can soon drop out of it again.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Cut losses or cut the draws and that. Teams picking up points again. I'm telling you what, we'll back up there again soon.
There'll be some fans that really, truly want to get promoted and really, truly... I mean, if we get promoted, it'd be fantastic. But if they really, truly believe we're going to get promoted this season... good luck to them. I think it's a really tough ask. What we want to do is improve on last season. And if that means we flirt with the playoffs or get in the playoffs, that'd be fantastic. And we'll have a laugh in the playoffs. If we get promoted, that would be even funnier.
And look, I think the players...
I mean, an achievement, don't get me wrong, but it'll be such a laugh to go up.
I think the players and the staff and the management and stuff will have playoffs in mind. And they will probably be thinking, we wanting the playoffs.
Yeah.
But because you've got this doesn't actually have to aim.
Trust me, we're good enough for playoffs this season. I'm telling you now. I keep saying it. We are good enough. I've seen enough from this season. I don't care. I know it's early doors, whatever else. But
to moan at dropping from 5th to 11th when there's no points between 5th and 12th at the time is ridiculous, because next week it all changes again, doesn't it? And we could be up there again. And you get a run of wins, you know what? And we can secure that place. So be optimistic, which is unlike me, but be optimistic.
You got to,
and if it goes, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, there's always next season.
Say we are competing up there this season so far. Okay, it's like I say, early days and whatever else, but so far we are competing with teams.
You need to be competitive, and this season I feel that we're much more competitive than we were last season.
Apart from the Birmingham home game, we haven't been walked over all season. Realistically, true. Maybe in certain periods we've been walked over, but look, we've turned it around. They've showed.
When you say walked over, is you just talking about scores? Because Saturday, really, we didn't really put up much of a show, did we?
No, but it wasn't quite a Birmingham performance.
I get that.
One of those ones. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, going back to Saturday, let's talk about Preston's first goal. This is a goal that, when you watch it back, it's just like, is it a wonder goal?
No.
Should Sluga do better? Producer Jacobs asked that here. Should Sluga do better here?
No. I mean, firstly, it was a cross. That's my first thought. It was a cross. It was deflected for definite.
Was it?
Yeah. Have you not watched it back more than once?
I'll be honest, I haven't watched highlights back. I've seen the highlight on the day from obviously the computer screen's there, so where the camera's about there. So
for me, it was a cross.
I just think he's bollocked it across goal and somehow it's gone in the top corner. But yeah,
it took a deflection for definite.
Do you reckon that is, like you said, somehow it's gone in, and it's just like one of them things that you just accept? Look, it's not like a freak goal, but it kind of is just like, that's not going to happen every single week. It's not like that's come from us playing, a terrible
I can accept
piece
that.
of defending.
I can accept that, the strike, but what I can't accept is, I'm pretty sure it's a Murray Bell on the edge of the area, what he does. Try to set the ball down, just get fucking rid of the ball.
He lost the ball. He lost the ball, yeah.
When we were sitting here, right, we literally went, just get rid of the ball. What are you doing? Don't piss about over there. Bang. All right. There's no right to score from there.
Well, nobody scores from there. That's why I say it's more of a cross than a shot. I mean, he hit it with a lot of power, but it definitely took a deflection off of one of our players to go in. It changed the direction. You can't. If anybody's sitting there blaming Sluga for that, I'll be amazed.
You sure it's a good deflection, Dave?
100%. I'll show you it in a bit.
Yeah? I mean, I haven't watched it back, but I mean, but either way, yeah. He's absolutely levered it, and he towards the far sticks, whatever. But yeah, but no, look, the build up to that goal, that's preventable. That's the whole thing about it. It's preventable, but you got to do better in the build up to it.
But at the end of the day, if it's a strike like that and it's hard to keep out, you know, it's like I've said, if you look back at some of the goals we conceded, the Blackburn away game, the 2 goals we conceded was so easy. It's not like that was easy because it was such a good strike. Obviously, it was maybe easy to get in that position to strike, but maybe in another game, that player chips the ball in and it's headed out and we can go again. You know, that's what I'm saying. Is it just kind of like a bit unlucky that they've scored such a wonder goal? You know,
yeah, but like I say, you have to defend your box a lot better than that as well, and you can't be taking risks in the final, their final third or your final, whatever. But yeah, just get rid of the ball. Just get rid of.
Oh, we got Dave on VAR today.
Hang on, look, you watch
VAR.
this. It's a cross. It's a definite cross. Have a look. No, look. Look at this angle.
Oh, okay, Dave. Okay.
Look at this angle. It's a cross and it's a deflection. There's no way he's shooting from there.
Oh, I don't know. I can't really see much
No,
deflection
it didn't
there.
look like, you know, it definitely.
Was there a deflection? Let us know. Owen the Town, Twitter or down below.
What he's failed to do there is turn it like sideways so I can actually see a full picture. Never mind, Dave. We'll go with that, mate. Just slide
No,
it down
hang
there.
on, hang
Just
on.
turn
No.
it. What's
Alright,
the rotate
you
on?
two figure that out whilst we talk
100%
about
cross.
before half time. It was basically game over, weren't it? Sonny, your best mate's done a terrible piece of defending, and you're always honest about Sonny.
Yeah.
And look, it was
Shocking.
rash, wasn't it? I don't know
I
what you
think
was
the
thinking.
most annoying thing about that was I turned to Bataro and said, if we just get to half time for 1-0, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. 1-0, Nathan changes the game. We come out, it's a different second half. And then that tackle. Needless.
Well, it's just
Terrible.
like Derby, obviously, we fought twice from 1-0 and 2-1 to get a point. So it's like you said, if you can get in at 1-0, maybe have a bit of a regroup and get some fresh legs on the pitch, that it could have been doable to come back. But it's just a moment of madness from Sonny, and it's unlike him to do that, weren't it? But it's fitting again that we bigged him up so much 2 weeks ago, and then he was at fault for the goal
I
we
don't
conceded
know.
the
I
other week
don't know what
against
he was doing
Derby, and then yeah, for this pen.
Sadly enough, if it was a striker missing an opportunity, you go, oh well. But it's a defender giving away a pen. We
Yeah,
lose a
needless as
goal.
well.
Was that game over for you? Because for me, I was just in my head. I was thinking,
Yeah, 100%.
I can stop checking for the
Do
score
you know
now.
what, right? For the first time this season, I can genuinely sit there and say, and this is the God's honest truth, right? I think I said it to you, Dave, the other day. I genuinely felt, even at 1-0, I couldn't see a route back into the game for us because of how bad we were playing. I've never seen us, well, I've seen us play that bad, obviously, but even when we came out the second half, I mean, yeah, we like put on the pressure, but we didn't really create nothing to the probably about 68, 70 minutes or whatever. They're not even full cut chances, they're half cut chance, I'm saying. But yeah, I think Saturday was the only time that I've really sat there and said, I can't really see us getting a route back into this game because Preston just, obviously the second half they weren't great, Preston, but you know, we didn't capitalise, we weren't good enough to take control. Like Nathan Jones said, and he was right.
So just a day to
Not good
forget
enough.
overall, really, wasn't it? It's like you said, not a lot really happened in that second half to get going.
No, I mean, like I say, we had probably, I don't know a majority of the
There was
ball.
nothing
I
to
can't
cheer
do
about.
stats, but
Nothing to
No.
cheer about for us. No, nothing.
I think there's once or twice we were, ooh, fucking hell, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? Let's get excited about nothing kind of thing. But you do that as football fans, don't you? You get excited about when the ball goes into the air and you think, oh, hang on a minute, someone getting the end of this.
Yeah.
But realistically, your hopes of your team getting on the end of the ball and putting the ball away, when you've played that shite for long periods of the game, it's non-existent. It's not happening.
Do you know another reason I was quite confident going into the game is because obviously Preston played midweek against Liverpool on Wednesday. And you think against Premier League opposition like Liverpool, they probably work quite hard. So you maybe thought we had an extra day.
Do you know what?
Oh, we had a whole week.
I watched a bit of it, and they should have won, Preston. And that was with their, a few changes as well. All right. It wasn't a full strength Liverpool side as well. But I looked at them and thought, they're working hard. They obviously, they need to try and work hard. They need to get the points on the board. And also I looked at their home record as well. And the home record was pretty decent. I'm pretty sure they haven't lost since the first game of the season at home. So look, it's not like we're
I
sitting
think if
going,
we'd have played
not a
to
bad
our
team.
utmost standard, we could have got a result. But we didn't.
Well,
Poor.
it's Middlesbrough tonight as you're probably listening to this, or tomorrow morning if you're listening, whenever you're listening. We got Middlesbrough. Tough game, isn't it? Because they're looking okay. They beat Cardiff the other week. I don't know what they did at the weekend. I think they lost actually.
Yeah, 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Middlesbrough just
It's not going to be an easy
screams
game.
tough opponent, doesn't it?
It's not going to be an easy game, but it's under the lights at home.
And why can't we?
Why
This
not?
is exactly it. Why can't we do it?
I feel like this is a really big test for us this week, especially now we've lost to Preston. It is finding that reaction against Middlesbrough and then Stoke. And obviously, Nathan's going to want to be Stoke. Massively going to want to be Stoke.
Yeah, exactly. It's the level of performance that we produce as well. Just go in there, right? You know, so I don't want to say we lose the game or whatever, but if we put in the level of performance that we know that they know they can put in,
Yeah.
then why can't we do it? Because like I said, and I'll keep saying it, if we play at our best, we can beat any team in this league. And I'll stick by that. 100%. That's why I'm saying we are good enough. You said about the playoffs, obviously 5 minutes ago, whatever. We are good enough for the playoffs.
We've got a chance this week, though, to make a big statement to the rest of the league, don't we?
Sorry?
We've got a big chance this week to make a statement to this league. If we can get results against Middlesbrough and Stoke and go, look,
That'd be amazing.
we can can have off days against Preston, but then if we can follow that up with big wins against Middlesbrough and Stoke, you know.
And how many times we've been sat here in the same situation, sitting there going, oh, you know, we haven't won for 4 games, drawn 4 games in a row, blah, 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 whatever else. And we've, you know, obviously we've debated it and gone, oh yeah, but if we can get a couple of wins in a row or 2 or 3 wins, or, you know, you finally look at it and you go, okay, you might have drawn 4 games in a row and you got a couple of wins, another draw and a loss, and 2 or 3 wins in a row. When that sort of stuff adds up, you look at the point tally and you think, some of the better teams, you know, the so-called better teams in that league do exactly the same thing. They don't win every week, but if you can't...
Unless you're Bournemouth.
Well, yeah, of course. But that's millions of
Okay,
leagues.
I get what you're saying, though.
I wasn't impressed by Bournemouth, by the way.
Nah.
They're just
shocking.
grinding out results
but
right now.
yes, again, we competed against them, didn't we? So...
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to today's player focus. Producer Jacob texted me. I was like, look, we're going to do a Cameron Jerome focus. I was like, mate, let's do it. Producer Jacob, good work, son. That's what we love to hear. How have you rated his performances so far? Because obviously he's been coming off the bench. And I think we said last week, he's been coming off the bench when we're winning and the game's different to a 0-0. But I guess Saturday, he had that opportunity from the start to show us how he's going to play in that Elijah role. And it's just not the same, really, is it, at the moment?
He can't play the Elijah role, though, because when you play a certain way, he can't play like that. But look, you can't really... we can't be too harsh on him because he hasn't really been given the opportunity. And when he does come on, like you say, it's usually when we're winning, or at least a couple of goals that are good. But he's not the same player, you know. He's a bit older now.
True.
I don't think we can sort of sit there and go, you know, oh, he's not as good enough. He's not good enough to play for Luton, blah, blah, blah. Because I think sometimes you've got to look at players and you've got to think, if you play them 5 or 6 games in a row and you look at them then, I think then you can kind of judge. But, you know, maybe 2 starts this season, if that?
Was he always going to be a bit part player, though? That's what I look at it.
Yeah, you've got bought in, didn't you, for experience and probably like to mentor the youngsters and whatever else. And
exactly.
So,
and it's like you said, it's difficult for him to get up to form as well. If he's going to be, if Elijah's fit, he starts tomorrow against Middlesbrough, and then Jerome's back on the bench. That's the thing. If, like you said, if Jerome maybe knows he's got 5 games to try and pick up some form, maybe that's what it would take. But unfortunately, it's a championship, and if Elijah's fit, he's in. It's as simple as that.
100%.
Is that still videoing?
The video? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still on.
Just asking.
Don't worry, Dave. We're still on.
I always worry.
Is he the answer then for when Adebayo's out injured? He's got to be if the only other option is Danny Hilton and he's not fit.
We've got Musgrave as well, by the way.
Musgrave could play up front.
I'd play Musgrave up there personally, but look, yeah.
Do we need another striker in January? Producer Jacob asks.
I think it's...
Who knows?
Maybe it's too early to say, because let's face it, how many games has Adebayo played this season? He started pretty much every single game.
And listen, he's been a revelation, but Jerome hasn't had the opportunity to prove what, like you just said. So
he needs to get some form as well.
Do we need another striker? Maybe.
We'll never know though until he plays. Maybe if, you know, Jerome plays again tomorrow and he plays Saturday and he's not up to it then.
Hey, if Jerome plays tomorrow and scores a winning goal, everybody thinks he's brilliant. You know, some people think he's got. You know, I've read some negatives about him on socials, but he is what he is. He's our player.
It's just always difficult, isn't it? When you're coming in to replace a striker like Elijah Adebayo, it's just
who's on form. He's on form, right?
Mm-hmm. Any team, any fan would say this about their team if their main like my girlfriend and Brentford fans would say it about Brentford if Ivan Toney's not playing. They'd say the second striker maybe isn't going to come in and do as good a job as your main striker. And it's it's going to be the same at every single club, that when your main striker's out, maybe there will be questions that the second striker's not doing what the first striker's doing. But it's like
It's tough.
It's tough.
Unless you're one of those teams that got a mega amount of
Unless
money.
you're Man City and you can
a mega
replace-
squad. Yeah, absolutely, a mega squad.
Like Jesus with Foden or Grealish or Sterling or
Yeah, well, they wouldn't make the Luton team, no, would they? Let's be fair.
Bernardo and madness. This is what you guys said about Cameron Jerome. JMO says, no one covered themselves in glory on Saturday, but for me, he needs a partner alongside him. Can't you use him as a target man when he's dropping deep or out in the channels? It's just a thing, like you said.
Sounds like I love James Collins, doesn't it?
Musquee, you don't really have that partner for him at the moment.
No, but look, like you say, does he need a partner? No one. I don't really know what to say to this because you can't.
If you're playing as a target man, you definitely need a partner because he's the one you aim for him to nod it through or hold it up and pass it through. So if he can play that role, fantastic. But if he hasn't got no one there with him, it's a difficult thing.
I'm sure.
I sort of agree with Jamo there. You know, if he's not in the right place, you know, if he's tracking back, it's like we used to say about James Collins. Really, literally that. You wanted James Collins to be in the middle. You wanted him to win those headers, and I don't think Jerome had many opportunities to prove himself on Saturday because the supply was terrible.
And also another thing, right? I think a lot of people look at Cameron Jerome and think they just look at him and think he's the same bloke from sort of 10 years ago in the Premier
but he's
League.
not,
That could
is
do
he?
a job like that, but he's not the same player anymore. He can't do that job. He's not 91 pace off FIFA anymore. Nah, joking.
No,
take the piss, but you know, he's not that player anymore who can, you know. He's not going to run. He'll work his nuts off, but, you know, he can't run in behind. He can't hold the ball up anymore. He needs someone with him because, unfortunately for him, levels of football have got a lot better. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to adapt your game. Whether he's adapted his game or not, we don't know. We've not seen enough of him. But look, we certainly know he can do a job at League One level. But
And the other problem is we've been really excited about our new striker. And I think that's the issue, isn't it? You're comparing him, it's like chalk and cheese, really, isn't it? They're different players.
I really hope he... do you know what? I hope in the next two games he starts them both and scores like 4 or 5 goals. That would be great.
Well, back to the comments. Neville says, seen him play twice now, Hull and Preston, and while I think he was poor in both, so was the overall team performance. So shame because he's well experienced. I don't think we've played to his strengths, though, so I'd probably agree. A loan is needed.
Ooh, a loan?
When he says alone, he means alone in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, right.
I'm not loaning him out, Guitarro, come on.
I did think that at first when I read that, but yeah, no, Dave, that's probably correct. Chris says, early on he looked decent when he came on, but 45 last week and Saturday, he didn't win anything and really looked well off it. Another striker would be great, but everyone wants a striker.
Yeah.
True, everyone wants a striker.
Where are they at?
Where are they at, mate? Where the strikers at?
Oh, mate, take the piss.
Well,
You dick.
well, if we loan someone...
Who's your mate?
Who's my mate?
Who's your mate?
Who?
Casa.
No, I don't know what you're on about.
Get Ivan. I'll get Ivan to come play for us. Have a chat.
If only I could.
Yeah.
If only I could. Zoe says he's good, but not getting the service he needs when he plays must
True.
be incredibly frustrating for him.
Just said that. True.
But we're giving the service to Adebayo, so maybe is it like you said a matter of time before?
Also, as well, I like the thing about, you know, we've been poor as who was it who said it? Was it whatever?
It's either Neville or Jamo.
Yeah, either one. I can't remember. I'm not going to look here, but whoever said that.
The names are here.
No, I'm not reading it. I can't read tonight. I just, you know, my eyes got funny, mate.
Come on, get it out.
It's been
Get
a
it
long
out.
day, but either
Let's
way,
spit
what I
it
was going to say is, like you say, when the performances are poor, it's hard to judge someone. Along the lines of that, anyway. But no, it's true. I mean, we haven't really looked good. When he has started, people might go, oh, you know, he could have done a better job. You know, he could have held the line a bit better. But when we've not been playing well, i.e. Hull City,
Well, yeah,
and the other day...
That's what Zoe's just said, isn't it?
Oh, it was Zoe.
when
Sorry, I
she
can't remember
said
who it was there. I was just
he's
looking,
not getting the service he
Yeah.
needs when he plays. Well, we've had that
Oh, there
problem.
you go. Yeah, so it was Zoe.
We've had that problem more
Apologies.
than once.
Dwayne says he's a different player to Adebayo. I don't think we need another striker. I think we need to play to strengths, which we didn't on Saturday. The issue was the middle of the park. We clearly know Jerome's strengths, though, because obviously they work on that in training, but maybe it is that we're just more used to playing with Elijah in the team.
So reliant on certain players.
Yeah.
But like you say, but obviously Dwayne said
It's
about
a-
that.
it's
Middle
a-
of the park as well. We were shocking in the middle of the park, by the way. Terrible.
It's a squad game, isn't it? It's a squad
I
game
saw
these
something.
days.
I saw something the other
It's
day
not-
as well
it's
about
not bad.
Lansbury. 81% pass success rate. And I think the highest before that was about 62% or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Terrible. What was that about? That's shit.
But it's a squad game now. Back in the day when I was watching, same 11 played almost every week. Week in, week out, it would be the same 11 or the same 12. It would be very strange to see the squad change as much as it changes now.
Well, he's played football with 12 players as well.
Well, they only had one sub. I'm that old.
Oh, sorry, is that what you meant? Oh, sorry, I didn't realise. I was thinking, what the fuck?
No subs before. So, it's different now, isn't it? So you're hoping that the squad will fill in for those gaps, and Jerome hasn't quite done that.
But like you say, let's get a run of form going. If he does play, and we're playing well, we'll see. And if he scores a couple of goals, like I say, then,
If he scores like 4 in the next 2, we'll be sat here next Monday going, sorry about last week.
What a player.
Yeah, what a player we've got here.
Day.
Is Jerome the next Messi is what we'll be saying.
Yeah.
If he scores 4 in the next 2. Should we end on some Insta questions today?
Why not?
I mean, is it ended already? That was quick, wasn't it?
It's a little bit short today.
Jesus. That's what your missus said as well. Sorry, that was weird.
Do you know she listens to this, right?
Yeah.
Amber, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, okay.
But, never mind.
Callum says, how far can we go in the cup, the FA Cup?
Well, we're guaranteed third round. That's a good start.
Yeah, I was going to say, here we go.
Do you know what?
We did speak about this the other week, actually, the FA Cup.
I'm thinking final.
I'm thinking whoever we play in the FA Cup third round, we play a full second 11 and get beat.
No.
Sorry.
Absolutely not.
Sorry, what
are you talking about?
Whoa, hang on. What
No,
did you
let's
say?
go there again.
What?
Why would you say that?
Because I feel like that's what we'd do.
Why?
You feel that's what we would do?
Yeah.
Why would we do
No.
that?
Because we
It's the FA Cup.
we would.
Not a chance. I tell you now, if we've got a
Of course
chance,
there's a chance.
if there's a chance of us progressing, we'll put out a strong team.
Well, I
And
disagree.
if we're playing a top team, you want your best players playing.
Mate,
Yeah, I feel if
it's
we
the
play
FA
it,
Cup,
if we
though,
play
can't
a bigger team away from home, then potentially.
Right, I'm going to put it there now. I'm going to say we're going to get to round 6.
round 6.
If we're playing a League 2 team at home, you're not telling me we're playing a full strength team
A
against.
few
If we're
changes.
playing
I
a
think
league,
4 or 5
if we're playing a League
max.
2 team, we put out a team that's going to beat the League 2 team. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because if we progress in the cup, what a boost that would be for everyone. And then you get that. Are we going to win the FA Cup? Probably not.
It's like that season in lockdown. We played Reading in the FA Cup third round, beat them 1-0. That Moncur goal, but we made like 7 changes that day.
And they also made, 8 or 9 as well. So
But
I know what you're saying.
no,
but
come on. We seriously, let's have a cup run, please.
yeah, I can see a few changes, but look, I mean, FA Cup's the FA Cup, man. We've got to
We
take
said
this
it
shit
last
seriously.
week.
And if we don't,
Get-
I'll be pretty pissed off we didn't take the FA Cup pretty seriously.
Wouldn't it be a great day out? Tottenham away, Man United away, Man City away, Rich Newcastle away.
Chelsea away like last season.
No, I don't want Chelsea.
Unfortunately, we've got to go there, but yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah, we'll take Tottenham. Apparently it's got a nice bar, but yeah.
A lot of nice stuff.
Nice
in
stadium.
Tottenham, Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there, boys, because you've not taken me yet,
Suck, mate.
Twice you've been there now, isn't it? Pricks.
Rob says, if Netflix made a documentary about Luton, what would it be called? That's actually a good question, right? Because there's
That's a
so
really
many
good
things
question.
that's happened in our history which you could make a documentary about. Obviously, there is that one on YouTube.
Trouble at the Top.
Trouble at the Top
Well,
documentary.
that was with Gurney, isn't it? And what a twat that bloke was. I remember standing outside protesting for that one.
You could do it about the season and you got promoted from the conference. You do it about the season. We
Yeah.
got promoted from League One.
I just think the journey over the sort of the 8-10 seasons, whatever it was, realistically, 8 seasons, yeah. I just think
What are the main things
it'd probably have
about?
like a massive shit generic name anyway, wouldn't it? Let's face it, like something like, I don't know,
All or nothing, Luton Town.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Comes-
I'd call
comes to you
it.
by
I would call it
Amazon.
because I think Gary Sweet has done a lot for our club and getting Power Court done. So
The sweet life.
well, there's a good one. The Sweet Life, Sweet Kenny Dreams, maybe Kenny. The Kenilworth Road is.
Kenny
is-
Rogers going to come in as well and start singing.
No,
today.
Kenny Rogers is dead, you twat. But
Yeah, no, you can have a hologram though. It's all right.
Oh dear.
sorry.
That was very aggressive there, Dave. I think it's the most aggressive he's ever been there.
Yeah, sorry.
He's dead, you twat.
Yeah. Well,
Bloody hell.
fuck off.
Oh, God, here we go. Look, let us know. What would you call a documentary on Luton? What would it be called? What would it be about?
It would be about how we've progressed and where we're going. That's what it would be about. We're going to the top. You've seen it here first.
This is how I'd start, right?
Like that.
Sorry.
Not
Sorry.
how it would start for
Straight
me would be like black and white footage of our relegation to the conference, that final day at Brentford, that 2-0, we'll start at that. And then it will like...
Why black and white though? You can get it in colour, mate.
Because it's like flashback.
Oh, right,
So it's like, it starts with that, and then it like starts showing your journey through the leagues and how it was like tough, the York final, the Wimbledon final, and eventually just build it all the way up to where we are now. That's what
to kicking out a power court and kicking on. Well, wasn't that good news this week, by the way?
I think so. I didn't really read
everything
it,
going on with that power court. Well done to the football club for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot wait. Because Gary Sweet said, spades in the ground next year. That means it's happening, everyone. It's going to happen, and it's going to be such a wrench leaving Kenilworth Road, but that's our future. It's our future, isn't it? It's our future.
Kenilworth Road, though, Dave. We have to leave Kenilworth Road. Oh, it's gutting, isn't it? That day is, you know, every time I think of that day, it's paining me more and more. I know it's a good thing for us, but it's just, it's really sad.
Yeah, I suppose that. But again, and I'm sorry to use the Brentford link again, but think how they felt about Griffin Park and think what they're thinking now. Look where they are. Why can't that be us? That's what I would say.
Yeah, maybe it will be. That's all we got time for today, I think. 36-minute podcast. Not bad, is it? We'll take that.
That'll do.
Sorted.
That'll do, donkey, that'll do.
Middlesbrough and...
Sorry for calling you
Stoke.
twat, by the way.
That's right, Dave. You could be worse than that, mate. Remember that time when I was 15 and Nutmeg Junior was my foot manager?
Oh,
no, let's not go there because you have.
I'm not beeping anything tonight, so let's just stop right there,
Okay.
yeah.
Dave called me and see you next Tuesday, by the way. Just let you know. I was a 15-year-old boy as well. Disgusting. You're a disgusting man, David.
Well, on that note,
Disgusting.
2 big games coming up. Let's hope for 6 points and another great podcast next week. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Disgrace.
Get us on YouTube, Owen the Town, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you listen on, and socials Owen the Town. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and we shall see you next week.